Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, the Collector's Editions. Now Xenoblade Chronicles is a series of science fiction Japanese RPGs developed by Monolith, a company founded by Tetsuya Takahashi, the creator of the Xeno series, initially for Squaresoft. Monolith is now owned by Nintendo, so it's natural that these games, especially Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, were released for the Nintendo Switch. Let's go ahead and have a look at those two collector's editions. Before we start, I need to mention that both those collector's editions are the European versions that are more complete and have more to offer to the gamer when compared to the releases that came out for North America and the rest of the world. It is also worth mentioning that although Xenoblade Chronicles was a game made before Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it was released in 2010 for the Wii and it was ported to the 3DS on 2015, the Definitive Edition was released for Nintendo Switch after Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Actually, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was released in 2017 for the Nintendo Switch, and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition was released in 2020 for the Switch. Now, since Xenoblade Chronicles is the game that was made first, we are going to start with this Collector's Edition. So let's go ahead and have a look. As already mentioned, this is the Collector's Edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, the Definitive Edition, that came out for Nintendo Switch on May of 2020. The box of the collector's edition is very well made and the whole package is quite heavy, revealing that it has a big number of contents inside. I'm going to open it now and have a look on the inside. The first thing that you are going to notice when you purchase this collector's edition is that it has another piece of paper, let's say, which is a wrap that includes all the contents of the box. It includes the game in physical form, a steel book, the original soundtrack of the game as a download code but also as a vinyl record, a printed 256-page art book and a big poster. This is the steelbook for the game. It has a beautiful artwork on the outside which shows the constant struggle of the two giant gods called Mechonis, representing technology and machinery, and Bionis, representing nature. It is the theme of the game. On the inside you will find the download code for the original soundtrack and the slot for the game card. A very nice steelbook indeed that you can utilize to store the cartridge of your game. If you don't want to do that, you can keep it in its original physical form as it comes included in the collector's edition. This is the typical box of the physical release of Xenoblade Chronicles. On the inside you will find the actual cartridge. So let's go ahead and put that back in order to remove those both and also remove this paper tray to see what is underneath. You can find here the vinyl record that includes the original soundtrack of the game. Of course, this record has two sides. It has 6 songs in each side, a total of 12, and all these songs in this remake, since Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a remake, all those songs are rearranged using a symphonic orchestra. So this is different from the original release of the Wii. Next, we can find the poster, which has a beautiful artwork and it shows a number of the main characters of the game. This is Shulk and some other characters that you're gonna meet in the game. And last but not least, it's the actual art book of the game. A 256-page art book printed on high quality glossy paper that has a number of concept art, the characters of the game, and a lot of extras. So let's have a look at the inside. This is Sarla, one of the main characters of the game with her different costumes. Those costumes actually are being unlocked as you progress in the game. This is concept art for some characters. You can see the quality of the illustrations here and how nice they look. This is again Sarla. And you can also find some designs for the Mechons. These are some of the monsters in the game, the bad guys that you have to kill, some other mechanical designs, some great concept art from the game, and my personal favorite from this art book, which is the storyboards that they have included, which is the storyboards of the cinematics. This concludes our review for the collector's edition of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So now let's move on to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But before we start, I really have to mention that to me, this is the best RPG that you can find on Nintendo Switch so far. But in order to enjoy it to the fullest, you really have to also purchase the extra DLC, which is called Torna the Golden Country, and it's sold separately. This is the prequel to the story of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it has better battle mechanics and a more darker tone, and I suggest you try it if you want to get into the Xenoblade Chronicles saga. Now let's go ahead and open the collector's edition and have a look on the inside. Here you can see a slide tray that you need to open in order, first of all, to find the art book, which is also printed on high quality glossy paper, and it has an embossed effect on the cover. It also has a big number of pages, and you can see some concept art for the battleships in the front. Here you can see artwork for characters. This is another character. This is some of the NPCs that you will find in the game, some mechanical design, monsters, bosses, concept artwork, and a lot of locations that they look amazing. Just have a look at this concept art along with more artworks, more mechanical designs, the evolution of the characters. You will find it in the front of this art book, how they approached and how they evolved the design of the main characters and NPCs. So great art book. And moving on to the next content of this collector's edition, which is the steelbook, another beautiful and well-made steelbook that you can use to keep your cartridge inside. On the back you will find a symbol that you will come across quite often during the game, and on the inside it is a slot for the game cartridge. Very well made and nice steelbook. And this is the physical form of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is a standard edition that you can also find as a non-collector's item. On the inside you will find the cartridge of the game. Finally, also in this collector's edition, you will find the original soundtrack of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, this time in a CD, and it includes 13 different tracks along with the composers and the singers that perform them. And on the inside, it's the actual disc along with another beautiful artwork. So everyone, this concludes our review for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Collector's Edition. If you are RPG fans, I suggest you try those games. They are amazing and they will offer you more than 80 hours of gameplay each. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, thumb up. We have more unboxing videos of retro and present gaming coming. Thank you all for watching.